Peace, peace, peace to the fam. How y'all feeling out here today? Me, I'm feeling good. You know, feeling really, really good. Just out here, um, really just happy to be um getting some of this stuff clearing out my system. You know, and today I want to just talk about spiritual practices, spiritual merit, altar, ancestors, and YeMingZhu. I'm gonna talk about medallions. I'm gonna talk about YeMingZhu. Uh, Thank y'all so much. Can I get y'all to share this with about 5 people? Yeah, I know. See who's out here. Um, bring in some of your loved ones. Let's just have a conversation around spirituality, okay? Because I can have plenty of conversations around money, which I like. I like having conversations around money, like having conversations around success. But my thing is transformation. What do we do about the transformation and all the other good stuff that goes with it? So I really, really appreciate all of y'all who be supporting OE Son, formerly known as Coach Kair. And yeah, share it. Let's go ahead and get it out. Let's share it with 5 on the live. And also drop your city and state. You know what I'm saying? What team zodiac you from? What's your team zodiac? What's your city and state that you represent? And if you know your human design, all that. I'm OE Son, Team Taurus. I'm your favorite astrologer's favorite astrologer. I'm really your favorite transformation coach who knows astrology, who knows human design, who knows moon magic, who knows altar work, who has a deep reservoir of information around tantra and spirituality and knows how to keep it from and bring it from high level to eye level. So I really appreciate it. Team Taurus, 3-5 emotional generator, coming from a place of emotional clarity today. What up, Virgo? Manifesting generates in the building. What up, Sheed? Team Cancer, Kansas City in the building. Capricorn, Pennsylvania's in the building. Thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all for showing up. One of the topics today is going to be spiritual merit, and I am doing Q&A. So if you have some questions, just drop them down in the chat, and we're going to definitely get to them. All right, I appreciate it. Make sure press that 5 if you already shared this with 5 people. You know what I'm saying? Let's get some folks in here so they can get some benefits too. I'm also the cat that opens up in prayer, right? I really love creating the proper container. So if we can take a nice big inhale, slow exhale out the mouth. Big inhale, slow inhale though. Slow exhale out the mouth, blowing out the candle. Continue this natural breathing pattern. Abdul Kul Tafalatat, Wa Bazong, I'm Farragoon, Shilel Kaloon. We are in the love of all, and all love is in us. We are a part of all, and all is a part of us. And we are one with all, and all is one with us. And we can succeed as a part of all and fail as individuals. And we can be all that we wish in all as long as our wish is to stay in all. We are never alone. All is, we are. All can, we can. All does, we do. Estanjay Elaku. All right. Team Virgo, manifesting generator. What up, Dice? All your Virgos up in here. I'm a Team Virgo. Virgo, I'm Virgo rising, but I still rep the Virgos. You smell me? So a lot of people are talking about spirituality, spiritual practices. I'm talking about making a transformation in 7 days. Uh, when you get an astrological reading, when you go see somebody, period, across the board, like there's supposed to be some changes happening within 7 days. You're supposed to be seeing some stuff um in your practice, in your life within 7 days. I'm not gonna get off of that. And it doesn't have to just be astrologers. It's just when you are dealing with going through a spiritual practice. You know what I'm saying? Like there has to be. How do you know that you putting in the right work? You know what I'm saying? Because you're getting results. One thing I like to talk about is spiritual baths. Some people be taking spiritual baths like every day. And I be wondering, like, who left the gate open, right? Spiritual baths are good, you know what I'm saying, for like bringing in the mother spirit, because that's who we all serve, and she's representing through water. But like the cleansing baths where you have to always be cleansing, that's talking about your spiritual practice. That's what that's talking about. That's talking about your spiritual practice when you're you always doing a cleansing, right? You always doing a cleansing. What up, Everett? Swaggertron is in the building. Soul Pantry is in the building. Peace to the fam. Team Taurus, Ninth House, 4-1 Projector, Atlanta. And thank all of y'all for joining. But your spiritual practice is needs to be strong enough to build up spiritual merit. Like, why are we even practicing? Why are we even practicing something spiritual? Because you're trying to build up spiritual merit. When you go to work and you're working on a job, you want a paycheck. So you're getting financial merit. When you go to college and you get an education or you take a course and you get a certification, you're you're earning a merit to take your skill to a higher level. Well, it's the same way when you're doing spiritual practices. When you're doing your spiritual practices, you have to think about, how am I accruing spiritual merit? Don't just be doing it just to be doing it. Yes, doing it for your ancestors because your ancestors' wildest dream, you're accruing merit. Doing it for yourself, you're accruing merit. Um, but you can't just aimlessly be doing it. So one thing I want to start with is altars. If you are having is any type of spiritual practice, you need to have an altar. And what is an altar? An altar is a communication device. It is a communication device between you, divine spirits, your spiritual team, and your ancestors. And if you are if you don't have a telephone and you're trying to call me and you don't have WhatsApp, or you can't get on Instagram and call through Instagram or call through Facebook, then it's going to be more difficult. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely going to be more difficult for you to get in contact with me. So yeah, I might get the thought that was like, yeah, Karen tried to reach out to me. Let me see what Karen is talking about. And then I send Karen a letter, but it's going to take a minute for that to get to Karen. When you got your altar set up properly, having an altar, just the attempt is a magical act. Let's talk about magical acts. I'm going to be all over the place. This is a medallion, right? This is a medallion for the Jade Dragon. The Jade Emperor has a mount. Most spiritual entities have a mount that they roll with, right? Like Saraswati, I mean, Vishnu has Garuda. Uh, Lord Ganesha has the rat. The Jade Emperor has a dragon. And this medallion is emitting Jade energy, Jade Emperor energy all the time, right? So, and it's also storing information, storing energy. And whenever you put on an amulet or put on a YeMingZhu or put on some type of sacred crystal, when you are bowing your head and putting it on, it is an act of magic. It is one of the most primary acts of magic that you can do, is because you're acknowledging that I need to connect with something that's going to get me a little higher. So every time you put on a necklace or a piece of sacred jewelry, then you are creating an act of magic. Now let's talk about budgets. Peace to the God Dante and the series also in the building. KTL Redbeard's in the building. Peace, peace, peace. Your budget, some things that we buy and we put on, and people say it does this, it does that at the level of what you paid for it. So, like, the rarer something is, the more power it's going to hold. But something that everybody can get is not going to hold the power of something like a YeMingZhu or something that's rare. So you know how they be having the evil eye with the black, white, and blue, and people be having the bracelet and they be having the necklace, and that's all they be having. I'd be like, wow, you ain't strapped. You really, you don't really have on enough protection, but it shows your level of initiation. Everything that you do is going to reflect your level of initiation. Me, I'm an initiate of the Jade Emperor. In the order of the Jade Emperor, there is an order of the Jade Emperor, and I have been initiated into it. It comes with certain responsibilities, it comes with certain privileges, just like as if you had been initiated as a Mason or a Rosicrucian or the Order of the Red Dragon or in Ifa or as a Sangoma. You only can operate as high as your level of initiation. So if you haven't been initiated into anything, you're going to be at a lower level of access to power because each initiation gives you a higher level of access to power and magical abilities, magical capabilities, magical potential. But you can't just walk up to it and say, I can do this because I'm doing this particular chant, or I got this off of YouTube. Phoenix Nebula's in the building. Peace to the God. You have to be initiated. Initiations, it's like when a woman has her menstrual cycle start when she's, young, 10, 12, 13 years old. That's her initiation into womanhood, right? When a man gets his heart broke the first couple of times, he's being initiated into manhood. What should a person initiate in? A person should initiate into something that they see is getting results. That is the first thing. When you're looking for something, that's a great question. What are Phantom of the Chakras? What should someone initiate into? You want to initiate into something, one, that has integrity, because you can initiate. There's a lot of stuff out here that I let's take it to church. When the church say, "Come on down here and get saved," "Come on down here and get baptized," you going through an initiation. Does this church have integrity? Does this pastor have? Is he doing what he's saying he's doing? Is he really representing the Lord Jesus Christ, or is he representing himself? So when you go and you say, "Hey, here's something that I want to be initiated in." Oye's son is saying he's running Inner Magic Academy. He's initiating Cosmic Jedis. What is the result? What do current Cosmic Jedis look like? What kind of results can I get from being in this initiation? My coast. Um, what does the teacher look like? Is the teacher, one thing you want to look for in initiation, the first thing is integrity in the teacher. I had somebody call me recently, and they were um the last time I had talked to them, they was running like a big a big business, you know what I'm saying? Like they had 10 employees, they had several buildings, and some kind of way this person got mixed up, and somebody got in his DM talking about, I'm in Africa, you on the spiritual path, and there's certain rituals that you need to do that I can do for you that you can't do in America. So you need to offer a cow, you need to offer a goat, but you don't know how to do it. So you need to send the money over here for me so I can do it on your behalf. And this person was calling me to ask me for $500 to do this ritual that he was like, after I do this ritual, it's going to work and things are going to change around in my life and I'm going to be able to pay you the money back. And I was just like, bruh, like a year and a half ago, you was up, up, up. And I said, I just want to ask you something. Like, have you spent, you know what I'm saying, over $10,000 with this person? And he was like, man, I done spent well over $10,000 with this person. And I was just like, if you've done all this, the person that you spending this money with that you've never met is running game on you. And you not being initiated onto the spiritual path, you are being psychically manipulated, and you have a attaching spirit to you. Now, what is an attaching spirit? An attaching spirit can be favorable, agreeable, or it could be very disagreeable and unfavorable. You want to look at initiations or your processes that are going to attach you to favorable spirits. Favorable spirits are like the Jade Emperor, Lord Ganesha, Kuan Yin, Archangel Michael, Mayat, Asar, the Medicine Buddha. When you get down or you get with some disagreeable or some negative attaching spirits, the first thing you have to look at is, how did this happen? You know what I'm saying? How did you get that way? So most things come and attach to you through invitation. When you are thinking good word, thinking good thoughts, speaking good words, and doing good deeds, you are inviting high level entities to come join you. When you have an altar that has the big boy spirits, Mayat, Ganesha, Krishna, things like that, then you're inviting high level entities to come get attached to you and move with you like Navy SEALs. When you use a lot of profanity, when you watch too much bad things on TV, when you have too many negative thoughts, your defense is down, which is now inviting negative entities to be attached to you. A normal person will have 9 to 12 attaching spirits on them. And it's totally up to you. Are they agreeable or are they disagreeable? Are they adding champagne to your campaign or are they draining your physical energy, your physical, emotional, spiritual, and especially sexual energy? A lot of women are like, oh my God, I'm having sex with people in my sleep and it's so wonderful. This person is the man of my dreams, or this is the woman of my dreams. And you really are being spiritually raped by an entity that's an attaching spirit that has put on the mask of your favorite person and is not your favorite person. But you don't have no defense up. So you got all this extra sexual energy because you're not having sex in real life, in the physical. So they're harnessing it from you during your sleep, right? And during the day. And this is a normal practice that's been going on for millions of years. And when you don't have spiritual protection, real spiritual protection, that like you spend some money on, like, you're going to be susceptible to be a victim. So this is how I say it. If you walking through Walmart and you never been trained in martial arts and you look like a victim, then a thief or a goon who attacks people and robs them in different places, they go through this thing called victim selection process. So if they walk by and see you got a pistol on your hip, they like, nah, that's not a good selection for me. I'm looking for something weak that I can take advantage of. If they see you got a sword on your side or knives on you, or you walking through and you got a black belt or you got on a kung fu uniform, they're not about to choose you. But if you look weak and like you ain't got no training, they're like, yeah, I'll take my chances with this person right here. And 9 times out of 10, they're gonna overpower you and take you. Yes. So if you are prepared and you have been training means you pay your dues when you go to the gym. And when you go into battle, if you have a cheap sword and the other person doesn't, your sword is going to break. It's going to just like if you go in and you say, "Come on, man, why you don't want to act right now?" Right? So you go to a botanica and you buy it and you buy this ruler, but they tell you it is a magical wand. And they tell you that these pink and blue symbols of the zodiac on this ruler are can protect you from anything that's out here that's evil. And you just out here walking around with this in your hand, and some kind of spiritual entity or physical entity come up to you and you start trying to fight it with this ruler. Well, we can see that what's going to happen. You're going to get your skull caved in because this is not strong enough for you to go in to no battle. And so a lot of these cheap things that we have that we buy from botanicals that are less than $20, we think that they're going to protect us when they're actually only good for to participate in certain rituals, but not high level containers, right? If you do have a question, please drop it in the chat. I'm gonna definitely answer it. I see I have a question, but let me finish making this point. So a cheap sword will always let you down in battle, right? A rose quartz is not for protection. of any kind. Black tourmaline is not going to keep an evil, negative spirit entity off of you. A question earlier was, we were talking about spirit attachments. Some people, a lot of people, especially out here right now, have like between 15 to 21 very disagreeable attaching spirits to them. Yep. And it's causing them mental problems. It's messing with their money. It's messing with their emotional stability. It's messing with a whole lot of stuff. They don't have an altar. They don't have the altar set up strong. They don't have any protection devices. And they are really a host for what's the word I want to look for? Like very dark forces. That's it. The dark forces will come and see that you can't defend against them, and they'll see that you have a weak spiritual practice, and they'll just come attached to you and start sucking off your energy like like a like a leech. You have these spiritual leeches that just pull off of you. They just pull off of you, right? So you wanna try to stay away from that and get away from that as often and as quickly as you can. And one of the ways is by learning divine prayers. Stop cursing so much. Stop watching so much negative TV. Stop being around people who have very low integrity. All right. Yes, because you are here looking like food. Let me go back and look at some of the comments. Doo-doo, doo-doo. Can Bufo do it? Bufo cannot remove negative entities off of you. You're gonna have to learn some prayers. You need to get into a system. You need to get a coach. You need to get with somebody who already has removed negative spirits and knows how to keep negative entities off of them, right? I've been through the process probably since 2010 of removing negative entities, keeping them off of me, and then inviting favorable entities that I want to work with of my choosing that are of the light, not the darkness. All right. What about light language? Light language cannot, light language is just them communicating through you, but light language cannot remove negative entities. These negative entities will walk right through some light language. They'll be like, that's cool, that's what you're saying, you know what I'm saying? But I'm sitting over here, I'm finna harvest. I seen this lady here in Bali, you know, who was supposedly coming through with some light language, but she had very dark forces all around her. Because you can do light language doesn't mean doesn't mean you protected. Okay? That's not what that means. You have a gift, you know what I'm saying, that you can communicate with these entities, and some people got can do light language and they don't, and they ain't really knowing what the language is, and they're not even investigating. You ain't got no altar, you got all this other type of stuff going on. Uh so you need a teacher and a guide. That's the real problem out here is people running into these spiritual practices and they ain't got nobody who they can lean on who already been down through there, right? Um, how do you get attaching spirits off, and can Bufo do it? This is also a problem right now in the entheogenic community. People thinking that I can take mushrooms, I can take Cambo, I can take all these different things, and I can get these spiritual entities these disagreeable ones off of me. No. This is for sight. This is for identifying traumas so you can get to work on it. You see what I'm saying? It's not, it's not, yeah, like you said, Cambo's a jungle vaccine on a physical and mental level. Like, can it knock COVID out? Can it knock some viruses out? Sure. Uh, can it do some cleansing of a lot of mucus out of your body? Absolutely. But you can't just come out here and say, uh, I took Cambo, I did some mushrooms and some bufo, and I do light language, so no entities can touch me. No, I have a field around me. That's not how that works. Thank you, Go and the lady, for coming on here, because that's my go-to for light languages. Somebody was like, is light language a protection device? Or I'm not sure exactly what your question was, Raquel, around light languages, but um, being able to speak light languages is a gift, but it's not an offensive weapon that you can just go out here. Your number one offensive weapon is being clear on how dark forces operate. And if I was to suggest something for everybody that you should have in your library, it's a book called Defense Against the Dark Arts by Dr. Mitchell Gibson. It's $300. He has a sale every other weekend, 50% off, and you can get it for $150. It should be $1,000. It's a $3,000 book, but it's $300. And it explains to you very specifically where dark forces come from and what dream you're living under. 98%, I think it's safe to say, you're living behind the veil and you really don't see what's going on because you don't understand how dark forces work. You know what I'm saying? You could get pregnant and not understand how sex works, but you can avoid getting pregnant when you start understanding ovulation period, ejaculation, things like that. Marcos. So I prescribe highly this particular book. Now, are YeMingZhu's protection? To some extent, yes. But the YeMingZhu can't do 5 levels above your initiation. The YeMingZhu accents your initiation. If you ain't been initiated into nothing, then the YeMingZhu ain't got but so much it can work with, right? Yeah, your YeMingZhu has been following you for lifetimes. However, what is your level of training? We are now in a space of spiritual war, and if you don't have the tools to pop up, you know what I'm saying, and pop off, then you're going to be susceptible to an attack, period. Squirrel says, under 7 grams of lion's mane, I know I interface with my aunt. I don't have the jewels yet, but I love to keep her with me. Team Aquarius, Scorpio, Gemini, Charleston, South Carolina. Do you have an altar, Squirrel Jenkins? And is Mayat on it? You can put a deity on your altar without putting a statue up there. You could get a 4x6 or a 5x7 gold frame and put that deity up on the altar. I'm really interested in doing an altar and ancestors class, a really, really, excuse me, deep dive to show people how to set up your altar. So a lot of y'all have altars, but is it set up right? Like as a power center. Like your altar need to be up as a power center for the benefit of you and your ancestors. Question. Someone says, what if it wasn't a dream, but it was a thought that passed in the mind 2 times. Is that a disagreeable attachment? If it's a disagreeable thought, then it's coming from a disagreeable act. So let's get out. I know I was gonna get into this part, and I got to get ready to get off of here. Where am I at? 35 minutes? Oh, this is supposed to be a shorty. Your soul you were born, your soul intact has 617 facets. Every time you curse, do a negative thing, steal, go against the law of Mayat, you chipping off a soul facet. So when each facet has energy around it. So you programming that facet with the negativity that you use to chip off your own soul facet. So one soul facet is moving around like a negative thought. It doesn't have form yet. But if you around 25, 30, 40, 50 people who have chipped off one facet with some negativity, disagreeable energy, now you have 50 facets that are negative that are attracted to one another, and they're moving through like a vibe. It ain't just a regular thought now. They're moving through as a vibration. When they're moving through as a vibration, they're collecting and attracting other negative facets that people have lost from their soul. A lot of people most people do not have all 617 facets. That's what your spiritual practice is all about. Your spiritual merit, gaining your facets back. That's what it's all about. Your spiritual merit, your prayers, your doing good for other people, your good words, your altar, your burning ancestor money. All of that is for you. All of that's for you to get back your facets. That's it. That's the name of the game in your spiritual practice, is to get back your facets. That's really the whole situation. Trill says the only reason I asked because I know Bufo take you into a higher dimension, so that's why I asked. Yeah, but it's in the higher dimension to help reset your cells. Your Bufo is to try to Bufo, if done correctly, is to take you to the mouth of God so you can feel what love is. Once feel what love is, and also reset all 76 trillion cells. But if you're gonna go back to the same habits that you was doing before you took Bufo, and you don't have a teacher, or you don't have a practice, or you don't have any post integration to help you change, it'll be just like you wasted your money on the Bufo. You seen it, you experienced it, but you went back to doing the same stuff, right? So Bufo is not a cure-all, it's a show-all. It will absolutely show you all you need to see, and to be like, oh, well, this is the spiritual practice that you need to be, you know what I'm saying, that you need to be jumping on. A spiritual practice that has the wisdom to eliminate spiritual entities from people's lives. That's what you want to be getting initiated into. Like, can this thing protect me? Now, a lot of people will try to scare you into an initiation too. Don't go for that. If somebody's trying to scare you into an initiation or join me, I've seen it. Listen, I ain't never, outside of Christianity, the second worst is a lot of these fake ass African practitioners who claiming that they practice Ifa or XYZ. Like my man, I really do feel sorry for him that he has been gotten probably for more than $200,000. I'm absolutely certain it's probably over $250,000. You know what I'm saying? And now he asking to borrow $500 from me to send them some more money to get this last ritual done that's gonna really work and make it happen. He done bought this dude a whole Mercedes. He done bought this guy a whole house, but you you have to have someone who can guide you on the path, who has integrity. And that's the first thing you got to look at is what kind of life is the person that's offering you a service. If I'm telling you I can transform your life in 7 days and bring more clients to your business using astrology, dang it, look at my life. Do I got some examples? Check me and say who you done it for? Where's some testimonials at? Rah 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 rah. So watch these cats is coming at you, all this other stuff. What about spiritual baths? Because I know in voodoo spiritual practices, they use water bath rituals. I talked about this at the very beginning of this video. Spiritual baths are important in your spiritual practice, but they can't be used as a weapon for defense all the time. You got to get some tools to go along with the spiritual baths. Not one thing is going to work in every situation. YeMingZhu and my medallion is and my rings is not going to work in every situation. That's why you have to be tooled up to know how to be like, let me go over here and get this one or that one. You know what I'm saying? Uh yes. Um I'm going to connect my clients to you one day. Let it be sooner than later because my availability is changing on a daily basis. My availability is changing on availability. I mean, the access to me, the way I grow, things like that. So when people come to me and say one day, that's another thing about spiritual practices. You're always putting things off. Why do people put things off to a one day? Like, what's the hold up? You know what I'm saying? Seems like we're discussing what I call balance and karma and dharma. No, I ain't even got into karma and dharma. Uh, your spiritual practices is going to determine your karma and dharma. Oh, she says because I need some clients. Got you. When you get some clients, you're gonna send them my way. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, Now I'm talking about your own personal spiritual practices. So you can reap some of your karma. Some of your karma is really good and waiting to help you excel. Some of your karma you got to work through because you didn't take care of it. You didn't take care of the spiritual contract in prior lives. All right. Um, all of this work that you're doing in your spiritual practice, your ancestors are with you at all times. What up, El Noble? Um, so it's important that you remember you're not in it for yourself. You need yourself on your altar. That's a big one right there. A lot of people, um, a lot of people don't practice enough of like heavy spiritual practices. You need to be getting into some heavy spiritual practices, bro. The lightweight stuff is done because um you're gonna get swallowed up. Yeah, doing good deeds is a game changer. Thinking good thoughts is a game changer. Saying good words is a game changer. Also, what's a game changer is avoiding bad deeds, avoiding people who not going in the same direction as you. You know what I'm saying? Uh Getting around people who are trying to retrieve lost soul facets, getting around people who are um on a similar path, you know what I'm saying, who do ancestor work, who have YeMingZhu. Yeah, pivoting. You can get as many consultations as you want, but you must take action. Praise the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I think I'm gonna just put a cap on it right there because that's enough for today. I have really, Spirit is saying I have spoke my particular what I needed to talk about. If you're interested in a YeMingZhu, please send me a message via workwithoye.com. YeMingZhu come in different sizes. Like YeMingZhu come, these are YeMingZhu pearls. They come in different colors, right? I don't have every color in my inventory because YeMingZhu is like Bitcoin. They're very rare and they're not being produced anymore. And especially authentic YeMingZhu versus fake YeMingZhu. We can have another conversation around on strictly YeMingZhu one day, no problem. But if you're interested in acquiring an authentic YeMingZhu, I do have a nice inventory. Please just go over to the website workwithoye.com and we can just send me a message, and then I'll show you how to schedule an appointment so we can see which YeMingZhu is for you. The range for the budget around YeMingZhu is $500 to probably $5,000. That's what I have in my inventory. So there are no YeMingZhus, $100, $200, $350, stuff like that. And if I do have one for 500, it may be one or two, right? So YeMingZhus are very, very serious transdimensional devices that will accelerate your spiritual practice faster than you can really imagine. Nasir says reciting the Anabacoa 7 times daily clears the daily chips. I would say doing the Anabacoa at least 3 times at every chakra point, because you have 7 chakra points. 7 times 3 is 21. So crown, third eye, throat, heart, solar plexus, sacral, root. 3 times each will give you 21. So 21 times is better than the 7 times. Neo says, how long before you've seen results from a word of power ritual or a human body of light ritual, or possibly made the sun blink? Are these practices interrelated? Yes, I can answer this. What is your level of commitment? What is your level of initiation? What is your level of dedication is the answer to how long before you see results. What level of power is in the ritual that you are practicing? So if you have a word of power ritual, but you don't have power inside of you, then it's not going to be immediate. If you have power inside of you and the word of power ritual or human body of light ritual is powerful, then you're going to get faster results. So it's not just the ritual. If you don't got the power and the ritual got the power, it ain't going to be fast results. If the ritual don't have much power and you don't have much power, then you really ain't going to see much results. And if the ritual ain't got much power, but you have mediocre power, or you even got a lot of power, you ain't going to see fast results. What you want is not even to look for fast results. You want to look for a consistent relationship. That's what a spiritual practice is for. So you can design a healthy spiritual, consistent relationship with your ancestors, with the deities, with your spirit team. Period. 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 All of these practices can be interrelated. Words of power, human body of light, but you need to start off doing them one at a time. To try to, so many people want to skip steps and jump in, I'm jumping in and I'm going to put these three together because I'm desperate. The ancestors and the spirit team know that you're desperate. They know that you're desperate. So you got to get bust upside the head. Don't get bust upside the head because you're moving out of desperation. Do one thing at a time. I am going to talk about it in the later. You already know exactly what I'm talking about. So it's important. I'm gonna tell you what. If there's a cheat code, get you a guide. What's the best way to make a practice a lifestyle? Get a guide. Stop trying to do it by yourself. What's the prayer I say at the beginning? I can succeed as a part of all and fail as an individual. You will not make it out here in your spiritual practices if you do not have a guide. I'm talking about a living flesh that can talk to you guide. I'm a guide. Mitchell Gibson is a guide. Naledi is a guide. Rashid is a guide. Nityama is a guide. Everybody's not a guide. Everybody's not built to be a guide. But you ain't built to figure it out by yourself. All the guides I know, all the master teachers I know, they had master teachers. So get you a teacher. That's number one. What's the best way to make a practice a lifestyle? Get you a teacher. All my spiritual practices as a lifestyle is because I saw my spiritual masters living it as a lifestyle, and I had an example to follow. Then they started coming with the heat. Take this ritual, take this blessing, take this initiation, take this. But it all started with a teacher. So if you're not going to get a teacher, support a teacher, ride with a teacher, ain't gonna work. Ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to get down, and you can't randomly. You can't have 7 or 8 teachers that you know on Instagram and YouTube and saying, yeah, you're one of my teachers. You spend money with a teacher. you spend money with a teacher. Whether the teacher is good or bad, I have, so I have my own personal experiences with people who say, this is my teacher, whatever. You ain't got a teacher until you breaking bread with them. If you're just taking content from them on the internet, if you're just saying 19 Keys is my teacher, and you ain't spending no money with 19 Keys, or you're saying that I'm learning from Billy Carson, but you ain't spending no money with Billy Carson, then they ain't your teacher. And I absolutely feel a certain way around 19 Keys and Billy Carson. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that the information is hot, or fresh. I think it's for beginners. And I think it's good for people to, have a level to start with, because I'm not teaching no beginners. You know what I'm saying? But we in different classes. We are in different classes. That is just the way it is. We in different classifications. You know what I'm saying? We teaching different things to different people. I'm not called to teach to everyone. And 19 Keys is not called to teach to everyone. Gano Grills is not called to teach to everyone. Ralph Smart is not called to teach to everyone. You know what I'm saying? You're called to teach to who you called to teach to. And I'm called to teach Jedis, high level folks who want to be transformational coaches, who want to transform, who understand I'm going to support my teacher and his teachings with my pocketbook, not just my mouth. And I'm going to be consistent in the practices. One of the things that was my teacher Sunyata had in our rule book was When workshops are held, they are for your benefit. Attend them. How could I say he's my teacher if um I don't come to the workshops? De Niro says, I feel like I'm supposed to tap in with you, been working to meet your standards. You'll never be able to meet my standards if you don't start. You can't meet my standards from the outside because you don't know what the standards are. But it's all good. It's all good. In about 3 weeks, I'm gonna lay something on the table for everybody, and they're gonna be like, wow, I think I want to be a part of this. So I'm working on something right now. You want to get a consultation right now? That's the head start. Because all of you gonna have to end up getting a consultation. Period. What is the strategy for your transformation? How do you get to know more about you? Can you get on the fast track? Right? It ain't about my standards. I have very high standards. It's about what do you believe you're capable of? You know what I'm saying? Um, and when people say I can't afford the ticket, when my bread get right, I always say you ain't got it prioritized. Something else in your life is prioritized. Them J's, the weed you may be smoking, the mushrooms you may be taking, like you can prioritize things. That's the only way you're going to get things in a spiritual practice is by prioritizing them. So, yeah. All right. I appreciate everybody that has came through today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I found you in peace. I'm going to leave you in prayer. Nice, big, slow, quiet inhale. Exhale out the mouth. Anabakoa Gijala Kiminka, Tatia Tezara, Kabel Renard, Amcha Sagvanu, Tahara Numera, Nagibor, She Yikadeka, Kabavasham, Barkam Taram, Rakame, Tazika Taka, Tamid Gamla, Kasim Kadosh, Baru, Tufka, Nahel Adateka, Nikit Gahel, Amchapanez, Okrea Katushka Teka, Shavata Nuka Bel, Ushma, Tazaka Tanu, Yadea Talamo, Shem, Kabomakuto, Alam Vaed. If you're ready to book a session on transformation, if you're a spiritual entrepreneur, you need more clients in your business, you want to talk about how to get your altar straight, you want to talk about how to invoke more spirits and get something popping in 7 days or less, go to work with OYE, book a session, let's get it popping. All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Peace to the fam. Peace.